all day here in the country, no doubt about it. There was plenty of flights overhead last night. Right, guys, it's a topic that nobody really has spoken on throughout these times since 2020. But no doubt about it, those that are attempting to govern Ireland are most definitely pushing people over the edge. There's a reason why single road traffic accidents are happening in most cases. There's young people going into hospitals. They don't walk out of them, they come out in boxes. Okay, there's been a serious increase in single road traffic accidents, an increase in people in general going into hospital. They might walk in, but in a lot of cases they don't walk out, they're carried out. Then the untouchable, and the one that people are afraid to talk about, is suicides. Media does not and will not tell you people that, because media's role in Ireland is to cover up for those that are creating all the problems. As a result, there are many people being pushed over the edge. Families have lost a lot of loved ones since 2020. And whose fault is it, guys? Top-ranked civil servants, doctors, nurses, has been instructed to do XYZ in the country's nursing homes and hospitals. And then you have suicides. So right, lads and lassies, protests have proved to be ineffective, especially when they have oppressor involvement. And by oppressor involvement I mean those that are attempting to govern Ireland. There's an awful lot of these protest organisers and speakers on the so-called government's payroll. Folks, I'm sure you have realised, you may not admit it, you may not say it, but there has been a serious increase in single RTAs, people going into hospital, coming out in boxes, and suicides around the country. It's very seldom, and very seldom ever mentioned by media. Gardaí are another problem in the country. Because why? They protect the most corrupted, which are those attempting to govern Ireland. And that was always their role since the early 1920s. As protests have proved to be ineffective, there's another thing that can be done if what's attempted to govern the country does not soon cop on and leave their fellow Irish men and women and children alone. There's much more severe methods rather than protesting. It's obvious, it's rather obvious it's going to start happening countrywide, and rightly so. There's a little gadget called a tracker that can easily replace protests and monitor what's attempted to govern the country if they don't soon back off and leave their fellow Irish men, women and children alone. Okay? I would imagine that families that have lost loved ones in recent years, if they ever realise that their loved ones could have been pushed over the edge, XYZ can happen in hospitals and nursing homes. There's no point saying can. It does, guys. Many have went in over the past 6 years and carried out. My advice to families that have lost loved ones in single RTAs over the past few years, suicides, and people that have lost loved ones that should be still alive but are not alive, that they start defending themselves against what's attempted to govern Ireland, different departments, etc., etc., and issue court proceedings against them. You don't need solicitors to assist you in it, because if you're confident enough, you can easily stand up in any courthouse and self-represent yourself once you have your homework done. There are plenty of lay litigants about the country that will and is prepared to assist you. Okay, guys, and I can put you in contact with these lay litigants that refuse to practice due to the corrupted system. And if you want, you can contact me at tr26riley@gmail.com. This, what's attempting to govern the country, can no longer get away at pushing people over the edge, folks. People are struggling and suffering enough due to the cost of living, the cost of fuel increases, and everything else. Heat and oil, for example, is another main issue that they're practically doing nothing about. So, folks, it's time for us to cop on and do what we have to do. But that's these single incident RTAs increases, suicides, and people going in and out, walking into hospital more than likely, but being carried out is another story. Those that are attempting to govern the country most definitely should not be let away with it. So, as protests have proved to be ineffective, strikers perhaps may replace these protests countrywide. It's the only solution, guys. If we can't get through to them, and they refuse to meet up with the public, strikers are the obvious solution. Okay, guys, enjoy your weekend, because I'm sick and to death with the amount of single incident RTAs, suicides, and people going into hospital and being carried out in boxes. Okay, guys, enjoy your weekend. And this weather might take up, it might not, it could be ready for the weekend, but I imagine there's been plenty of flights overnight. Okay, guys, have a good day.